So hey, we're here in Fontana. We didn't expect to be here, and all my Camaro lovers out there, yeah, we've got the black Z28 back. That car has had 3 wins this year and a 2nd place. It'd be really cool to finish out the season with 4 wins and a 2nd place out of the 5 races that this car has run. It just proves and validates that it's just a wicked badass car. You start the engine and it just sounds so mean, and you know it should, because it's putting out over 740 horsepower. When you fire it up and drive down pit lane, it's like E.F. Hutton. Everybody stops and listens and looks, what is that? You know, it's like, oh my gosh, I can hardly wait to see that car run. Yeah, I haven't raced the Camaro since June, and you know, and really that car has struggled all year. Even though we've got race wins to prove that it's done well, we haven't really scored the points that it's really capable of doing. Brian Johnson proved that you can be competitive overall in a 5th gen Camaro. And now it's our turn to try and prove it. Yeah, I'm kind of anxious, you know. I haven't driven in a while. We just ran at Putnam Park last week, so got a little rust off on a road course there, but we haven't autocrossed in a while, and especially this car since June. So yeah, I'm ready to see what happens. Who knows what can happen when the full potential of this car is realized on the track. This car ran really well with Cody Mason driving it last year. This car scored really well and won GT and beat Brian Johnson here last year. So I know it's capable of doing and scoring really, really well here. Not a lot of grip. The little cars were going fast, the all-wheel drive cars were going fast, and the lighter cars with lots of tire on, like Corvettes, were going pretty fast. But big, heavy Camaros, they weren't going fast. Our first lap and put in a decent lap. We were only a few tenths of a second off of Rich Willoff's time, and he's the fastest guy out here. So I'm thinking, hey, you know, we're looking pretty good here.
Say it's overheating?
Yeah. But on the first lap, we also started to overheat. We had a bad thermostat in the car. So is it a gauge or is it overheating?
Yeah, look at the gauge.
Yeah, that's
like 220.
It's incredible the luck that we have. Cars they're machines, and they decide to fail when they want to fail. I mean, we installed this engine. It ran perfectly on the dyno at Mass Motorsports. We installed it in the car, ran it on a dyno to get the tune ready. It was fine. We ran it at Putnam Park, and I lowered the track record for our cars by like a second. The car was really fast, unloaded fast. Not a problem at all, and we literally put it in the trailer, drove it here, unloaded it, did 1 autocross lap. Now the track's getting faster and faster because it's being swept, and now all the dirt and debris is off of it, and it's starting to rubber in here. So the track's getting fast, but we're sitting here in the pits trying to fix the car. So the frustration level is incredible, and you know, if we ever had a race where everything went perfect like most other guys, I don't know what we would do. We would just have a great time, put gas in it, and sit in a lawn chair all day, but that doesn't happen to us. I don't get it. The car gods up there are just trying to make me stronger. I don't know if I have that many years left in me to get stronger, I'll tell you that much. We lost 2 or 3 autocross runs in the process. We only had 1 run in the books.
car runs cool now, so we solved that problem. Now we're playing catch up. We still aren't out of the 35-second bracket yet. Car feels like it's on ice, so we're going to make some changes, sway bar changes, and so forth. See if we can't get it. We need to be way south. We need to get 2 seconds like now.
We get back out there, and I'm thinking, okay, we need to improve on this time. And we kept running and running and running, and it was like driving on ice. We could not get the car to work right on the course, and we could not improve on that time.
I mean, I ran at 35 flat first lap.
It was absolutely NCM Bowling Green all over again. First lap out, your first lap out, you're just trying to learn the course. You've walked it, but you have, the first lap is kind of a, oh, let's feel it out kind of lap. And that lap held up for me for 2 hours. It was just, we could not improve. And we're kind of in between gears, can we run the whole thing in first gear? Should we shift up in the second gear? But we decided to leave it in first gear because we could also allow, when we get out of the throttle and brake into the corner, the engine also helps slow the car down. So you're able to use not only the brakes, but the engine revs to slow you down into the corner, rather than being in a taller gear and having it coasting through the corner. So that helped us. We were kind of stuck in between gears, so we had to compromise. And in the end, first gear all the way around up on the rev limiter was the way to go.
We didn't roll off the trailer fast, and we don't have enough time to chase it down and make the car really good. So we may have to live with our very first run as our best time of the day. So that's weird.
JJ was asking me, what changes do you want to make? What do you think we need? And I said, man, we've done everything we can. Just let me drive it.
Okay. Now it's on me.
So yeah, you've got to go out and drive what you got and make it go fast. You've got to adjust your driving style to make that car, will that car to go fast. Once again, it comes down to the very last run. We took a big swing at the setup, changed a whole bunch of stuff and hope it worked, and we improved by 3 or 4 tenths of a second and was leading in the GT class after that morning session.
That helped a lot.
I knew in order to win the GT championship overall for the season, I was going to have a perfect race. Right out of the gate, we had a bad thermostat, cost us laps. So, sometimes the magic works and sometimes it doesn't. Speed stop is a crapshoot. You roll the dice. You hope to get a good launch. You hope to get a good shift. You hope you brake perfectly at the end of the straightaway. And turn around and come back and shoot towards the box, and you hope to get on the brakes perfectly in that box and get a good run. It's really, really difficult to get all those components right to get that perfect time, but that's what it takes to win that event.
Jordan's time is the quickest in GT at a 15.1. We just ran a 15.6 our first run, so in theory we should go faster. However, on the autocross it didn't work that way for about 2 hours, so I hope we don't get stuck there. But I don't know, it felt really good. Brakes felt really good, so just learned the track a little bit more. But a tenth of a second on a speed stop is like a second on a road course, so there's a lot of time to make up here. And I know it seems like a short amount, but it's gonna take, you know, a lot of work to get down there.
This was a real tight speed stop. It was like a real sharp button hook.
Very slow in the turnaround.
Yeah, I couldn't see the corner.
Okay.
It's like, you know, it's hidden there.
In a 5th gen Camaro, everything is high. The belt lines of the car are high. The A-pillar is very thick, and your visibility is not good. There's cones down there, but you know what? I can't see them. So you're just kind of guessing to make, and trying to take it as tight as you can without hitting it. You're just going by the seat of your pants.
15.3, 2 more tenths to go. Let's go. We can do this.
We were able to put together that perfect lap, get over to design and engineering just before the end of the time limit. So I got that one perfect lap in and got over to D&E and got that in.
You think black shows fingerprints at all?
Not at all.
Design and engineering is a different bird, different animal. You've really got to be a car salesman to get the job done. I don't want to jump the start here. My approach is, you know, 2 minutes isn't enough. That's, you know, you really need 10 minutes or more to really go through every nut and bolt and detail of your car. But it's just not physically possible to do 80 cars in a Saturday to get all that in. And we also went with a carbon fiber theme with the intake, strut brace, you know, just the fuse box. Seeing our custom radiators, this close-up panels, carbon fiber as well. What have you done to change to the design of the stock car and make it special, make it yours, make it unique? It's really up to you to sell that to these judges, and no matter what they like, it's up to you to make sure they like your car at the end of the day. It's actually PPG Candy Black. It's not a stock color. We painted this car, and we painted the red stripes. There's no vinyl on this car. It's so for the stickers. The great sponsors that we have, like Air Raid and K&N and Spectre. At least you can do your part to make sure that the car scores well. And that starts with preparing it before you even get here. Make sure your car is beautiful, because that's the whole point of the design and engineering. It gets a lot of criticism, but you know what? It's really up to you to make sure you bring a beautiful car to the racetrack. We don't want race cars with license plates in our series. We want real street cars, no matter how fine a line you're walking. We want beautiful cars that we're running, that show well. I mean, they're really SEMA cars that race. It's the proof in the pudding.
You know, I was hoping that the California judges here would get this car, and you know what? They did. They love the car. There's a lot of work and a lot of engineering that went into it, and they got it. And you know, we ended up 3rd overall in design and engineering, and thank you very much for that. I think the car deserves that every single race, and they got it. Yeah, this track is kind of tight, and again, doesn't really lend itself to a bigger horsepower kind of car. We like, you know, high-speed sweepers. We like more medium to high-speed corners, that type of thing. And this has straightaways with some chicanes and some Mickey Mouse corners in the end that are fairly slow. It would be perfect for the Evo. Again, it'd be perfect for the Evo, but that's not what we have this weekend. So we'll see what happens. I was here 2 years ago with our white Z28 that we first stuffed the Lingenfelter motor in. And we went pretty good here. So this year we've got our Mass Motorsports engine in the car, putting out big power, and you know, we've worked on the car. We know how to make it handle, and went really fast in testing. So I expect to go really fast today. we ran the first session out on the road course, and you know, Jordan was 100 ahead of us, and you know, he's my main competition for the overall win. It looks like we might have blown a head gasket. We are done. We're out for the rest of the day. The bad luck continues. We went out for the first session here on the road course, and we were able to get in a good first lap. I mean, I haven't been here in 2 years, and not with this car, so I was kind of feeling my way out through the track, and put in a decent time. But then the engine started to overheat, and I got a low oil pressure warning light that came on, and I had to come in, and we blew in a head gasket. So, you know, I don't get it, but the racing gods have not been kind to us this year. We were able to manage, once again, eke out one lap that was decent, and I think it's going to be good enough for the overall GT win here. I'm pretty sure that we've got that locked up. So anyway, we come away with a win. It's not pretty, but they don't ask you how. They ask you, did you do it?